If you hear any noises, I'm sorry, I have neighbors. So, we are already in the month of April, already ending, and little by little things are starting to get back to normal, which is amazing because we already want to get rid of this pandemic and have things get back to normal. And a lot of people are going back to the Disney parks. And today, I decided to bring you a video that's a little bit different. I've always loved makeup. If you've stuck around the Happy Blonde family for a while now, you know that I love makeup. And I used to have beauty segments here on my channel, but I kind of stopped them and gave them up. The views weren't that good. But today I decided to do something that I love, combining it with Disney, which is a Disney Parks Sweat-Proof Perfection makeup. Meaning that what I am about to show you today is the makeup that I usually do on myself to go to the Disney parks, and I don't sweat, it doesn't crease, it doesn't run, it literally stays on the entire day. So without any further ado, let's start off the video. Pausing the video just to say go ahead and follow me on my Instagram at happy.blonde.s. I have amazing pictures there, and remember that we have dance videos on Tuesdays and Disney Princess, specifically, videos each Friday, and I have a very special video next week, so definitely stick around and join the hashtag Blondie Squad family by subscribing. So the first thing that I would love to say is that a lot of people forget that they do need to moisturize their face, whether they're going to a park or not. So the first thing that I like to do is to actually go in with my Pond's moisturizer, and if you'd like, you can definitely add sunscreen to your base makeup, and this is what is going to help your skin look beautiful and glowy and healthy and flawless. And yeah, protected basically against anything. The secret to a beautiful skin is to actually take care of it, keep it hydrated for those of you that need it. Really treat it with either toners, serums, moisturizers, products, anything that really works for you. Moisturizers is what works for me, and sunscreen when I'm going to the parks. But I will not be applying sunscreen today because my foundation has sunscreen included. So after I let my moisturizer just stay there for a couple seconds, I'm going to go in with the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder. I absolutely love this. This is the shade 10 in Fair Light. And I'm going to go ahead and grab my powder brush and just lightly, very lightly apply powder all over my face. This is actually the TikTok beauty regimen. A lot of people probably saw that it just changes your makeup routine entirely and your skin does look beautiful. Some products don't blend in well with others, and that's something that you do need to have in mind, whether you're doing this regimen or really any other regimen. Not necessarily this one, but I am just blending it all together and setting that foundation, and I'm going to go right ahead with my CoverGirl Outlast Active setting spray, I'm sorry, and I am just going to spray that on my face so that I have a very nice and blank canvas. Let's let that dry for a little bit. I do have my air conditioner on, which is the reason why everything is blending and drying so beautifully, and probably the reason why I'm shivering right now. So I'm sorry. But right after we do that, I'm going to go ahead and start off with my primer and or base. I am using the Wet n Wild Impossible silicone-free primer that does it all, and it really actually does. I love this, and it is so cheap really, because primers tend to be really expensive. I hate that because they're kind of essential for your makeup. I mean, do your makeup without your primer and then do it with primer, and the difference is absolutely massive, but they tend to be really pricey. So I like that Wet n Wild really came through with the beauty community like a couple years back, and they've stood strong. So I'm just blending that all over my face, patting it in certain areas, and after that I'm going to go in with my foundation. Now when we go to the Disney parks, I do think of very light foundations, nothing that's really too cakey, but that is going to really set your skin beautifully. And my solution to that is the Benefit Hello Happy Soft Blur Foundation. This is the shade number 4. This actually does have SPF 15 sunscreen included, and it is a light to medium coverage. It's a buildable foundation, so I absolutely love that. I'm going to go ahead Apply it first with a brush. I like to apply it first with a brush and then perfect with a beauty blender. That's just my personal preference, but you can definitely apply your foundation however it is that you want. And I am just dabbing it all over the place, including my neck. Never forget your neck. Your neck is very, very important when you're doing your makeup. You want your neck and your body to match your face. So I am just spreading everything in a really odd manner. I'm not making it perfect or anything because that's what the beauty blender is for. Now that I've spread it all over the place and I look patchy as hell, I'm going to go in with my beauty blender and just very lightly start blending everything all together. I like to take my time with this, go in the places that really crease, like my under eyes and these expressions that go right next to my mouth. I like to take my time with this and really blend everything, even into my hairline. I really dislike it when you see people wearing makeup and you can clearly see the line between their hair and their foundation. So I like to take my time with my makeup and really pat it in as much as I possibly can, because like I mentioned, this is what is going to help us have our makeup on all day. Really, the fact that we blend everything together and we use a lot of setting spray. Setting spray or primers are really the secret to having makeup on all day. There we go. So just like that, we already have our foundation out of the way, and I'm going to go ahead with some concealer. Obviously when you're at Disney, you open a park and you close a park, so trust me, you're gonna have under eyes. This is the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in the shade 11 Vanilla, and I am just applying where my T-zone is and underneath my eyes. Just do a little triangle, just like that. I don't like to apply that much because then I'm gonna get raccoon eyes, and I do not like that at all. So I just go ahead in several places and my chin just the tiniest bit. And again, continue to blend. Alrighty, now that we've finished blending, I am going to go in and really this time, really go in with that loose powder once more, the Maybelline loose powder, and I am going to apply it all over my face. I will bake a little bit later, so don't worry. I am just applying this all over to really set the foundation in. I don't like it when I can touch my face and the foundation feels sticky. It is a really very big pet peeve for me, so that is why I apply a lot of powder to my makeup. But you can definitely apply as much as you think you need. If you don't think that you need that much, go ahead and do a light powder coat, but like you're seeing, I go ham with it. I like to have a matte face. Again, going in with a setting spray, this time of heavier coat. And we let dry. So we already have our foundation set. Like I mentioned, setting spray is your way to go to have everything just really stick to your face. And now I'm going to go ahead with my brows. I do like to use the Wet n Wild Ultimate Brow Micro Brow Pencil in the shade number 2. This is like kind of like a brown, like light brown. But I also like to fill them in with this kit that I recently got. It's called the Beauty Creations Eyebrow Definer Powder Book. As you can see, it has a lot of shades. It's perfect for when I'm party princessing, but it's also perfect for me because it has like really a lot of shades. I'm going to bring this in closer to me. It has blonde, taupe, soft brown, caramel, chocolate, auburn, ash brown, and ebony. So that is absolutely amazing for when I'm princessing. And I really don't like to fill in my brows all the way. They look done, but not entirely done, if that makes any type of sense. So I'm going to first just line them. I like to stretch just the tiniest bit sometimes. My brows are not really made. I do pluck them myself. I had a brow incident actually years back when I was working for a party princess company that was not my own. I was gonna be friends with Rapunzel for the very first time, And this lady, with all due respect, decided to pluck most of my eyebrows because Rapunzel has almost non-existent brows. Woman, that is an animated character. I will never ever have her brows. Like, they don't look like that normally. So yes, they really destroyed my brow shape for a solid while, and after that my brows just started growing back a little bit wonky, and I've had to deal with that ever since. Which is the reason why I like to line them first. I do make a lot of mistakes with my brows, so you're gonna see that in a couple seconds. But yeah, I just line them just like that, and I'm going to go in with a brush and just fill them in with a taupe shade. They're almost sisters. Woo! Today's a good brow day. Alright, so after that I do like to clean them up just a little bit and use some concealer with that, so that's exactly what I am going to do. Go back with that concealer, and I'm going to show you my trick so that you don't have that really noticeable concealer line on your brows. So I like to use the concealer on the lower part of my brow to obviously define them. So starting off here. Alright, so for the top part, instead of using concealer, I go in with my foundation. That way it looks so much more natural when you blend them together and you don't have that weird line that you sometimes get, you know what I'm talking about? That it looks, again, like you have raccoon eyes, but this time you have raccoon eyebrows. So I just like to perfect my edges just like this. Ta-da! And we have brows! So today's a good brow day. They look kind of like sisters. Not twins, but they look like sisters today. Sometimes they look like really distant cousins. So I am going to go ahead and bake just the tiniest bit while I do the rest of my face. I like to go in with this brush. It's a Wet n Wild brush, and I just pack it in areas that I know tend to crease. So under eyes are a huge must. We like to brighten those up. And on top of my lips so that you don't sweat as much. And that's it. We're gonna start baking over there. While we bake, you can go ahead and do eyeshadow. I personally do not like to use eyeshadow at the Disney parks unless I am filming a choreography, because I like to feel and look as princessy and fresh as I possibly can. Use the Maybelline Colossal Mascara to really give those a very nice coat. I do love myself some really long eyelashes. So that is exactly what I'm going to do. After we did top and bottom lashes, never forget your baby bottom lashes. You can go ahead and bronze. I don't use that much bronzer, especially over at the park, because I do get to tan. On the very first day, I tan very easily. So I'm going to go ahead and use the Urban Decay Back Talk palette, and I'm going to use the shade Double Take for my blush, and I'm going to go ahead and use Party Foul for my highlight. If you're going to the parks, I really suggest that if you are going on a vacation, oh, that was strong. I'm going to tone that down in a second. If you're going to the parks for a vacation, I highly recommend taking a palette just like this one that really matches all the colors that you're going to be wearing throughout your vacation, throughout your week, and it makes your packing so much more easier. You have everything in just one palette, and it's so much easier to take and travel. I like to go in with blush everywhere. I love that princessy glow, but I think it was so much. So if you ever apply a lot of blush, just use your powder brush on top of it and it'll lightly tone it down. And I'm going to go in with a highlighting brush. I like to use slanted brushes for highlighting, and go ahead and apply highlight. Love to glow. Princesses love to glow and sparkle. So that is exactly what I'm going to do. I apply it where I usually would, the tip of my nose. I really don't contour my nose. My nose is pretty slim and I actually like it a lot. Unless I'm party princessing, obviously. So I just apply highlight on top of it. On my Cupid's bow, that is my staple, and I do like to go ham in there. And I like to apply on my inner corners to really brighten my eyes up. And also on my brow bone to really blend in the concealer that we applied earlier, make my brows look so much more pronounced. And voila! I'm going to set with my beauty blender that powder that we used to bake very, very nicely so that it sticks just like that. And I'm going to go in with a different setting spray, which is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Coconut 3-in-1 Primer Water. I absolutely love this. And I'm going to go ahead and put some lipstick and be right back.
Due to technical difficulties, I did lose the footage, but I am inserting these clips here because this makeup routine is the same one that I do on my face, not only when I'm going to the Disney parks, but also when I'm filming choreographies, so it's really, really resistant. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one.